Hey everyone, welcome back to Yulan's channel. Today we'll be talking about Unit 3.6, Chemical Senses of the 5 main senses. So, if you haven't watched my previous videos on visual anatomy and auditory senses, please do watch those videos because they are really helpful in understanding the general understanding of the senses and the transduction process, which is how the sensory receptors receive the information and then it get processed in the brain. So yeah, let's begin. So there are two chemical senses, taste, which is gustation, and smell, olfaction. There are chemical senses since the stimuli are the molecules of the object you are tasting or smelling. Every sense has its purpose, and these two serve as warning signs. For example, if you smell food that's old or rotten, you won't eat it, therefore saving your body from later pain. If you are in your house and you smell smoke, your senses will be heightened and you would escape immediately. Chemical senses help us survive in any environment. We have five main taste receptors: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. As you all know, umami is often described as savory or meaty, the kind of taste we experience when we eat something like broths, gravies, soups, and soy sauce. When you eat something, your taste buds catch the chemicals of the food. Taste buds are the most concentrated on your tongue, but there are also some on the roof of your mouth. Something really interesting is that you can only taste food that dissolves with your saliva. Your taste buds are embedded in a tissue called fungiform papilla, which are the little bumps on your tongue. Taste is one of those senses that differ greatly from person to person. If you have more taste buds, the more chemicals are absorbed, so you taste the food more intensely. A fun fact is that what we think as flavor is actually a combination of taste and smell. Babies show a preference for sweet and salty foods and avoid bitter and sour foods. We often have all the preferences for sweet and salty, and they allow us to survive. Whereas if a baby tastes something bitter or sour, they would think poison or rotten. Remember that expectations influence perception. Therefore, your expectations of how food tastes could change what you think of it when you really try it. Also, taste is also very subjective and can change based on culture and emotions as well, which just shows its subjectivity. Generally, you should be aware that pleasurable tastes attracted our ancestors to rich, good-tasting foods that enabled our survival. The second chemical sense we'll talk about is olfaction. We only smell things when molecules of that substance reach a cluster of our receptor cells in the nose. Isn't that wild? Everything that you smell actually touches your nose. The receptor cells send information to the olfactory bulb, which gathers more information and sends it to the brain. This message goes directly to the amygdala for emotional impulses and then to the hippocampus for memory. These receptor cells respond to familiar scents and instantly alert the brain. For example, mothers and infants form a chemistry relationship because of their sense of smell. Infants always know exactly who their mother is just by the familiar scent. This direct connection to the brain is the reason why smell is such a powerful trigger for memories. Remember in the trichromatic series we mentioned, we talked about the series of vision, visual anatomy. Um, we only have three colors that we actually detect. That's from the series receptors, but when multiple are activated, we see infinite colors. This happens with the smell as well. Certain molecules excite certain receptors, and the mix could create new smells. As people age, we lose our sensitivity to taste and smell. This is why you may see an older person overusing spices. A fun fact is that this is the only sense that doesn't go through the thalamus. Everything else except olfaction goes through the thalamus, which is like the center that you stopped. It's like a getting oils station thingy. If you recall, whatever you see goes from your eyes to the optic nerve to the thalamus and then finally to the visual cortex. The same goes for every other sense besides smell. This becomes very interesting and explains why certain smells may remind you of a person or place. Your sense of smell goes directly to the brain, and there is an immediate response of these receptors and molecules. Now we have some practice multiple choice questions, so keep watching. So please pause the video after I read this question and see whether you can figure out the answer. The first one, smell and taste are called what? Because what? Pause the video. So the answer is B, chemical senses. Taste and smell is sensed through absorbing chemicals. Energy senses aside, hearing and touch, every other sense do not exist. D is incorrect because signal is never sent chemically. It's always converted into an electric message. Our second question. Our sense of smell may be a powerful trigger for memories because what? Pause the video again. So the answer is B. The nerve connecting to the olfactory bulb sends impulses directly to the limbic system. The nerve connected to the olfactory bulb is directly connected to the amygdala and hippocampus for emotions and memory, which is why it's a powerful trigger for both emotions and memory. So this explains this interesting phenomenon. So thank you for listening today, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.